Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, because I said that I am doing booktube and a little bit of writerly stuff because I do like to write, I decided to do the writer tag. I spotted it on Kim Chance's channel. Obviously I haven't been tagged because I don't have many people watching, but I thought I'd do it because it looked like a great one to get myself into the swing with the writing videos. So with the writer tag, there are 10 questions. So the first question is, what do you eat or drink while writing? So I don't really eat much while I'm writing because I sit at a little desk up in our spare room. But I do drink a lot of coffee. Coffee is my life when I'm writing. And I find when I do come downstairs to get coffee, then I will pick up things like biscuits or chocolate, that kind of thing. But it's mostly just exclusively coffee. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, what do you listen to? So I tend to write on the PC, so I'll have my manuscript up on Google Docs, and then behind it I'll have YouTube. I do like a real mix of music, but I do have some favourites at the moment. I'm writing quite an angsty piece, so I do love my Alanis Morissette. Love Alanis. She's like my angry girl music. I love a bit of Cyndi Lauper. I love Roxette. Who else? Oh, and I also do like when they make the 90s playlists on YouTube, because it takes me back to being about 13 or 14. So I have like Britney, Backstreet Boys, all of those great ones that just take me back to being a teenager. Absolutely love it. So yeah, a lot of 90s or late 90s, early 2000s. I love S Club 7 as well. So yeah, I have shit taste in music, but hey ho. So number three, what is your biggest writing distraction? I would definitely say Facebook. Again, I said I had like my Google Docs and YouTube. I do tend to sometimes flick up onto Facebook as well, and it is the worst thing ever because the minute you see a notification come up, you're like, oh, I'll just click back through. And it ends up that I'll spend like another 15 minutes just looking at Facebook. Also, sometimes I get a bit distracted when I'm on YouTube trying to get another song up that I quite enjoy. I can sometimes get sucked into BookTube and I'll start watching somebody going on about some books that I really like, and then I end up shopping, and then it just spirals into something that it shouldn't have been. So I should really just play music off iTunes or something, but you know. So number four, worst thing that has ever happened while writing. So nothing bad has ever happened to me while writing. I think for most people it's probably the forgetting to save. I do all mine on Google Docs, so I don't think Google's going to break anytime soon. I hope not anyway. I should actually back it up a bit more just in case Google does break. I don't know. But I did once, before I realised that you could do the whole Google Docs thing, I saved my NaNoWriMo project onto the computer and the software got changed or something, and I lost the whole thing. It ended up being a good thing because I wanted to do a complete rewrite anyway, so I got all those ideas down, and then I spent the second NaNoWriMo I did doing it better. So it was probably a good thing. These things happen for a reason, don't they? So yeah, losing things. And also we've got an aerial on the top of our house, and whenever we have thunder and lightning, it tends to hit the aerial, and it has a tendency to blow up all the computers and electrical things in the house. So I don't know why we don't just take it down, but that happens. So best thing that has ever happened, not while writing, but so I published my first ebook a couple of weeks, well, 2 weeks ago, and that was an amazing experience. It's not sold that much, it's just friends buying it, but you know, it's fun. I will leave a link down below though, so you can check it out if you do want to see. It's not my best work, but it was just a fun thing that I did for NaNoWriMo last year, and I edited it and thought, well, I'm never going to get a publisher with this, so I might just put it up myself. So I did. And people, I mean, I've had a nice response from people. Nobody said that was awful. So, but the best thing that's ever happened is an agent picking up my stuff and saying that they want to see the full manuscript. I'm still waiting for her to get back to me, so she still might say it's awful. She's had it for about 2 months now, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. But the fact that somebody picked up what I wrote and said, this is good, I'd like to read the whole thing, I think is pretty amazing, because I don't have I'm not the most confident, and when you write, you're putting your heart and soul out there, and I don't like it. I mean, I like it because obviously I like writing, but I don't like it because I think people can see a bit of me that I don't like that, and I just worry that they'll think I'm rubbish. And just hearing somebody who knows what they're talking about say that actually it wasn't rubbish and they want to read the rest of it, that made me feel good. So, number 6, who do you communicate with or not communicate with when you are writing? So I don't really communicate with anyone. I tend to let family and friends know when I hit like a good word count. So if I'll hit like 50,000, then I'll start telling people. I sometimes take a photo of my little word count on the bottom of the screen and post it on Facebook, just so I can show off. But I think people are just getting a bit fed up with it, so I probably won't even do that anymore. But yeah, I don't really communicate with anyone. I like to just shut myself in, and as I say, because I'm not that confident about showing people, I don't even really send out snippets or anything. I have just started sending out manuscripts to a couple of friends at work who were like desperate to read the stuff that I sent off to the agents, and the response is really, really good. They've been really positive about it. So I might start doing that more. I think maybe I should get into some like writers groups or something. I think that might help me. So maybe that's something to think about. Number 7, secrets to success and biggest writing flaws. So my secret to success is the one that everyone says is just write. I wanted to be a writer since I was since I was young, but I really, really wanted to be a writer my whole adult life. I've written nothing until like the last year and a half, and now I've got like 2.5 books in the can. And it wasn't that bad, so I don't know why it took so long to write them. It's stupid. I could have so many stories by now, so I don't know why I did it. So yeah, just write. It's a stupid thing to think that you're a writer and not write. Just write. And then my biggest writing flaw is that when I'm writing, I'm amazed by these people who like write the start at the beginning and then they write chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4 until they get to the end. I tend to write the first bit, then I'll write the end bit, then I'll write a bit in the middle, and by the time I'm all over the place. It works eventually once I've gone through all my editing, but it can make it really confusing, especially if you've had a glass of wine while you're writing, and then you come back to it the next day and you're like, I don't even know where I was supposed to put that in the story. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't, but in a way it's good because I can get all the good stuff out first and it keeps me interested, and then when I'm editing I have to go back through and do all the boring stuff, as some people will be doing that as they go, and maybe I think I'd get bored if I did that. I think I've got ADHD. I think I'm just all over the place, and that's probably why I do what I do. But it works. I got almost 3 novels out of it, so it can't be that bad. Number 8, what inspires you or makes you what makes you productive? So inspiring is hearing other people's success stories. I think when other people do really well, that gives me hope. It's just nice to hear that other people have done well, and you know, when you hear these amazing stories about people making millions on their self-published book, or it's their first attempt and they send out a manuscript and then they've got like a bidding war on it, and it's just amazing. I think that's great. And I mean, sometimes it makes me a bit jealous, but it's so good to hear, and it gives you the push to do it, because I don't really particularly like my job. It's okay, but it's not a career. So I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to pick up a manuscript and just say, yeah, I like this. So to hear that it does happen, it's inspiring. And what makes me more productive? Again, I think it's knowing that it could happen. That keeps me going. And just loving writing the stories. It's escapism. I love that. So that keeps me going and makes me more productive. Yeah. Annoying habit for me and for others. I think it's probably just talking about it too much. Like I say, I post it on Facebook. I talk about it when I'm at work. I think people are probably just thinking, can she just shut up about it? And it's probably the same with others as well. Everyone likes to talk about themselves, don't they? So yeah, it's just hearing too much of it. You've got to find that balance, haven't you? So I hope I'm not annoying. I probably am. And number 10, are you willing to share something you've written? So yes, I am currently writing a story about a shooting that happens in a forest environment. It's like where I work. So somebody walks in with a gun and starts shooting people. So I will just read a little snippet. This is about one of the girls who works at Forest, and she's late for work. Oh no, actually, I'm reading you the bit about the guy who is going to go and do the shooting. So I'll just read you a couple of paragraphs. John looked in the mirror as he zipped up his floor-length black jacket and contemplated the last few days. His eyes were still red and puffy from crying for a solid 48 hours, but now his heart was full of resolve and he knew what he had to do. He took another glug of whiskey and sat down on the bed to pull on his biker boots. The warm liquid burned his throat as it found its way down into his stomach and coursed through his veins. He felt a little better when he drank, and he wished he had started it earlier. It may have taken the edge off when things were really out of control. As he perched on the edge of the bed, he could feel the weight of his mother roll into him, and he used his free hand to push her a bit further along the bed. He knew that she wasn't going anywhere fast, so there was no need to be gentle. Once his boots were on, he stood up, planted a kiss on his mother's forehead, and strode out of the room purposefully. He paused at the door as if he had forgotten something, but then thought better of it. There was no going back now. His mind was made up. Ooh, what's going to happen? So there you go. That is a little bit of my story. But that is the end of my writer tag. As I said in my newbie booktube, I don't have any friends, so if you do want to do this, please do, and I look forward to seeing you later in the week. Bye!